Hello, gentlemen traders and investors. Thank you very much for paying attention to our review. Now we will consider the current performance of the company Kaltura Inc., ticker KLTR. The review was made using current data as of September 4, 2024. By classification, GURU.Markets Corporation Kaltura Inc. belongs to the subcategory Advertising. 58 companies participate in the assessment, which is very representative. We start with general information about the company. If you want, you can pause the video. You can view all the parameters of the organization in question in detail. Access to the table with the classification of company tickers is absolutely free. We kindly ask you to share the link to this issue with your friends. Thank you for your repost, as well as various other support. All this is very important to us. Well, we'll finally get started. Market capitalization of the organization Kaltura Inc. valued at $0.17 billion. And the market capitalization of the subcategory is $144 billion. Kaltura Incorporated accounts for a share of 0.116% and is one of the very small companies in the subcategory. The company's balance sheet capitalization is estimated at $0.01 billion. With a balance sheet capitalization of the subcategory of $29 billion. Kaltura Inc. constitutes a share of 0.05%. Having compared the shares of market and book value, we see the following. Share Kaltura Incorporated in a subcategory when assessing market value is 0.116%. Balance sheet capitalization is 0.05%, which is 57% less than the share of market capitalization. Assessment of the organization's share of market and book value in the subcategory. Bad, -1 point. Total company assessment Kaltura Incorporated will be demonstrated at the end of the video. Please look at the progress of the analysis in full. The analyzed organization's debt obligations amount to $0.031 billion. Debt to book value is 310% of equity. Rating for the company's debt obligations, very bad, -2 points. The balance of the company's stock market value to its profit is 0. While the average in the subcategory is 58.8, which is much worse than the average in the subcategory. Assessment of stock price to earnings ratios in comparison with subcategory companies. Very bad, -2 points. Profit for the last 12 months was -$44 million. Projected earnings for the next 12 months are unknown. And this is extremely bad for the company. Assessment of expected future profit in comparison with companies in the subcategory. Bad, -1 point. The company's price-to-revenue ratio is 0.9. The average in the subcategory is 1.7, which is 47% lower than in the subcategory. Assessment of stock price to revenue indicators in comparison with the indicators of subcategory companies. Good, 0.5 points. Revenue for the last 12 months was $180 million. Future revenue for the next 12 months is unknown, which is extremely bad for the company. Estimation of expected future sales in comparison with the indicators of companies in the subcategory. Bad, -1 point. The margin is -24.8%, with an average for the subcategory of 2.9%. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 27.7%. Assessment of marginality in comparison with the indicators of companies in the subcategory. Tolerable, minus 0.5 points. The company's share in terms of the number of employees in the subcategory is 0.113%, which is 3% less than the share of market capitalization. This fact reflects the discrepancy between the company's exchange price Kaltura Inc. rather towards revaluation. The amount of capital per company employee is $288,000. And in the subcategory, there are $281,000. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 2.5%. Estimation of the company's capital per employee in comparison with indicators in the subcategory. Tolerable, 0 points. The amount of profit for each employee is minus $75,500. The average for the subcategory is $4,800. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 1,481%. Estimation of profit per company employee in comparison with indicators in the subcategory. Tolerable, minus 0.5 points. The share of sales per individual employee of the company is $305,000. In the subcategory, $164,000. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 86%. Estimation of sales per individual employee in comparison with the indicators of subcategory companies. Tolerable, minus 0.5 points. The volume of short transactions is 1.2%, with an average for the subcategory of 4.4%. This is an indicator of the risk of a short squeeze. Technical indicator RSI 14 shows a level of 41% for the company Kaltura Incorporated, whereas in the subcategory this level is 49%. Potentially, shares of the subcategory are quoted higher than Kaltura Inc. Comparing the price movement of a company's shares Kaltura Incorporated and subcategory companies. We see that over the last 12 months, stocks Kaltura Incorporated showed a change of minus 40.7%. Against price changes in the 9.5% subcategory. This does not clearly indicate anything, but we must keep this fact in mind. Before showing the final grade, please write a valuation of the company's shares Kaltura Inc. in the comments to this security assessment. Total result, minus 8 out of 10 points. The average result for the subcategory is 0.3 points. If you look broadly, within the US stock market in the aggregate, note that the average score for the entire stock market in aggregate is 0.3 points. Against the score of minus 8 points Kaltura Incorporated. Let's look at the table of orders that is available to you. A link to it in the pinned comment. The order table contains all publicly made decisions by the stock valuation information and reference system GURU.Markets. Access to the order table is absolutely free and open. Link in pinned comment. Let us remind you that earlier August 30th, 2024, an order has been published, ticker KLTR. Information and reference system GURU.Markets. The following decision was made on this order. Close the order. The result is a profit of 16.4%. Thank you all very much for watching this video and for using the information system from GURU.Markets. You all are the most excellent audience.